Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sulk stream. I hope you guys are having a good evening, had a good day, hung in there, did the best you could. I know times are tough, and trust me, they're going to be getting tougher. And, you know, sometimes you don't feel like you have any help, but you do. You have the Sulk stream. You have old John here, old Sulk, right? He's on your side. He loves you, and he's here for you with a shoulder to cry on and an ear to listen. So please join me, hit the like button, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And let's have some fun. Let's have a good time. Is that okay with you guys? Can we just relax and have a good time? It's hard. It really is hard. But it might be getting harder. It might be getting harder. That's why tonight I'm bringing you the zombie survival quiz. And I want to see how you guys do. I want to see how you guys, score. And I want to see who can hang, right? Who I need in my posse when the shit goes down, right? When people are biting necks and everyone's getting infected and stuff. I kind of feel like that's going on now. Only we have some sort of weird political T-virus that it's spreading around and people are cutting their dicks off and shit. It's weird, man. It's a weird kind of T-virus. I didn't expect it like that. You know what the T stands for, right? Yeah, I think you do. I think you do. Anyways, welcome. We're going to be... get out your pens and papers and, I want to see how you do. Give me the score and I want you to be honest. Right? I want you to be honest. Well, this is a multiple choice to see how you would fare in a zombie apocalypse. And yes, this will be graded. This accounts for 50% of your grade at least. The other 50% of your grade is for donos. So you can buy grades. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyways, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. Thanks for being cult members and all that stuff. So get comfy, get cozy. Grab a hatchet, a crowbar, a hammer, whatever you can use to smash a skull. Separate the spinal cord. Disinfect a wound. Make a Molotov cocktail. Or anything fun like that. If you're working, keep working. Because the end is nigh. And if you are driving, please drive safely. So you can get home and hit the like button and become a fan and stay a fan of ye old Sulk stream. So anyways, I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is the Sulk stream. And this is called Zombie Survival Quiz. Most people choose wrong. Enjoy.
Quiz to find out if you'd survive a zombie apocalypse. Not movie logic, not gamer instincts, actual survival decision. I'm
gonna hand it to this chick because I don't know if she wrote these questions or whatnot, but they're fairly well thought out. Somebody wrote a zombie survival guide years back, and I read it, and it was full of like good practical advice. It was a gray book, had it in paperback. Don't know if you guys remember that book. 2006-ish? Or maybe earlier?
Making pulled from disaster studies, urban collapse scenarios.
Dick Rickham says, I picked a good day to watch. Let's fucking go. Everybody keep score. And be honest.
Real world psychology. It's 28 questions long. Some of the questions are easy. Most of them are not. For each of the questions, you get 4 options to pick.
It depends. It depends. Are you skilled in the ways of zombie survival? Then it should be a breeze for you. If not, you're going to get bit in the neck and you're going to turn. And then I'm going to have to kill you. I'm going to have to not kill you because you're already undead, but re-dead you.
And I'll tell you the right answer and explain why the others most likely will get you killed. As we go through the quiz, you should keep track of your score. You get 1 point per
Well, Knobsdog, look at you. Nice for you to show up on time instead of the very last minute of the show.
And at the end, I'll tell you whether or not you'll last. So before we begin...
Ardenshire says I got 1,000. No, this isn't like the SATs. I don't even know how the SATs work. Didn't take them. Didn't give a shit.
To this world.
I knew I was stupid beforehand. I didn't need a test to confirm it.
And also the scenario so that you can make informed.
It's like a blood test, right? Something like that.
Choices. So this quiz, right? This scenario, it uses classic slow-moving zombies, so like classic infection type zombies.
The Disaster Diaries is the book. No, it's the Turner Diaries.
moderate hearing and smell. They have poor
got it
eyesight,
wrong.
especially in low lighting. These zombies will notice if you're loud.
Okay, so we're laying down some, sorry about the coughs. Laying down some ground rules of what kind of zombies we're dealing with. Use classic slow-moving zombies. So the George A. Romero Dawn of the Dead zombies, right? They're slow, they're shambling. They're not quick 28 days later zombies. They don't have great hearing or eyesight, that kind of zombie, and they can't bleed out. You have to destroy the brain or separate the spinal cord. That kind of zombie, right? We're not talking Walking Dead zombies where they run super fast like Usain Bolt and stuff like that. That doesn't even make sense. They would be all like stiffened up with rigor mortis and stuff. How are they going to be? Did they stretch before they saw these people? Maybe the very fresh ones, but I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
If you're fast or if you're bleeding. In terms of how to defeat them, the zombies don't feel pain. They don't bleed out. The only tried and tested way to destroy them is by destroying the brain. And they don't stop unless you hit a central nervous system, so when you're picking weapons, that's what you're aiming for. In terms of how the virus spreads,
tasers work. Tasers will work because there's still electrical signals operating the limbs and stuff. So tasers will work if you have a taser on hand or something like that. Something like pepper spray probably will not work because they don't feel pain. I'm not even sure they have taste receptors or anything. They do have them. I just don't know if they're functioning. If you're biting into somebody's neck, and they stink because they're dead. So tasers, yes. Pepper spray, no. Beanbag gun, like a shotgun beanbag, I don't think that's going to work very well.
or how people turn, the virus spreads.
Yes, I said shambling. What's wrong with that? Shambling. That's the appropriate word. Shambling zombies. What?
People say it's from bites, maybe blood. It's not airborne.
If sprinters exist, we're all fucked. They don't. It just doesn't make sense. Look, I mean, like, unless you modified the rabies virus, which is probably the closest thing we can get to an actual T virus. Yeah, but that's not technically undead. That's just sick. That's not a zombie per se. We're talking strict classic zombies. Crawling out, coming back from the dead after being dead for hours. The blood is coagulated. Rigor mortis has set in. The skin is starting to, rot. They're not going to be able to run. Classic undead.
As far as we know, but if someone gets it, they turn fast.
Shambling's not a word? Is shambling not a word? Yeah, it is.
To give you some context of you live in an urban area with two other people, so it's like a medium-sized city, pretty densely populated area with like the infrastructure of what you get in an urban area.
Yeah, it is a word. Shut up. I looked it up.
So public transport, accessible supermarkets, roads, etc. I hope you took some notes or you remembered those facts because they may or may not be relevant in deciding what you'll do. So again,
Christian says we own his and hers full knight armor set for this very reason. That's fucking awesome. That's really cool. Damn, that's awesome.
and I'll start with each question in term and then the options, and I'll give you a couple.
Despite, look it up. Look up shambling. It is a word. I swear to you, it is. Okay, fine, whatever. Here, I'll bring it up right there. Shambling, verb, present. Okay, who walks while dragging or shuffling feet. Is everybody satisfied? Okay, moving on.
To pick your answer. I'll tell you the right answer after each question and give you an explanation as to why that's the right answer. Feel free, obviously, to...
Now says my apologies. I've never heard that word before. Learn something new. God, buy a fucking dictionary. You have the internet in front of you right now.
Need it, and most importantly, keep track of how many answers you get right or wrong for your final score.
Jesus, guys.
And without further
focus, please. Knobs Dog, you're out. You're the first to die.
Let's begin.
You're the first to die.
It's a zombie outbreak. You live in the second floor apartment in a medium-sized city, and it's the first 10 minutes. What do you do?
All right. Absorb, you've just confirmed it. It's a zombie outbreak. You live in a second floor apartment in a medium-sized city. It's the first 10 minutes. What do you do? Here are the options. It's 4 options.
Option A, leave immediately by car and head towards the countryside. Option B, grab a backpack and head on foot to the nearest supermarket. Option C, wait a bit, gather information, and then leave before nightfall. Or option D, stay put and begin fortifying your home.
Okay, so I'm going to move out of the way a little bit, and I want to see the answers in the chat. Let's see what you got. I'm going to try to stay on the side here, okay? I can't get fully out of the way because, remember, it's my show. What do you got? What do you guys think? Leave immediately by car and head towards the countryside? Well, I mean, you're in a city, right? And so leaving a city is usually a good idea, but they just confirmed that it's a zombie outbreak. A lot of other people are probably going to be trying to leave. The gas stations are going to be flooded. The roads are going to be crowded. Maybe not the best idea unless you have a motorcycle or something like that and an alternate route. Grab a backpack and head on foot to the nearest supermarket. Sure, that's a good idea. You want to gather supplies, especially if you're out. Wait a while. Gather info, then leave before nightfall. Gathering info is always a good idea. Gathering info is always a good idea. If you leave before nightfall, the major rush seems to be gone by then. So I don't think you'd be competing so much. But you don't know how fast this is spreading. And it could be all-out chaos by the time night hits. And, is traveling by night the best idea? I don't know. Stay put and begin fortifying your home. What do you think? Okay, Big B Trucker says D. Despite says C. Dick Rickham says B. Nah, everyone is doing B. Grab a backpack and head to the nearest supermarket. What would I do? I would wait a while. I would do C. I'd wait a while and gather info, then possibly leave before nightfall. I might not leave, depending on what I have. I usually have a pretty good supply. I have like survival food and like ammunition and stuff like that. So in my personal, I wouldn't have to leave my house anyway. Okay, is everybody in? Christian says E, put on armor and watch Sulk stream. Okay, that's a good option too. That is, because I'll be like, God, you guys have seen this shit? And I'd be like, ah! Because it'd come out. It'd be Jess. She got infected because she was out at the grocery store. And I told her not to do it, but she don't listen to me.
So the correct answer is option D, stay put and begin fortifying your home.
Option D, stay put and begin fortifying your home. Okay, this is fair. This is fair. But that goes along with wait a while, gather info, then leave before nightfall. Yeah. C or D. So Big B got it right. Big B was the only one. Who got it right. All right, point for Big B.
So the reason that this is the right answer is because leaving in the first wave is often one of the riskiest things that you can do. During the first wave of an outbreak, infrastructure breaks down basically instantly. The roads are full of accidents and abandoned
Christian says, one more game and we can leave. Just one more game. What are we playing? Battlefield? Hopefully it happens after October. Because I'm going to be playing a shitload of Battlefield.
Cars, emergency services are overwhelmed or completely gone. And if you're in a vehicle...
Despite says I'd probably wait a night and leave the second night. Yeah, but you're going to want to fortify to a certain point. You want to make sure your doors are nice and locked and stuff. But you don't even know what's happening. You don't know what kind of zombies you're dealing with. You don't know who's going to break in. It seems like the very first night, fortifying a little bit, sure, but you're not boarding up your windows or anything. Just make sure your shit's locked and no one wants to break in and arm yourself, obviously. In any case like this, you must arm yourself.
You're likely going to get stuck. And if you're on foot, you're probably going to be exposed. Another reason to stay put is because you have more control at home.
Big B Trucker says, I'm always prepared. I'm wearing a condom right now.
Know your layout, your entry points, and what you...
Weird. Why would you say that, Big?
have active. You're able to block doors, ration supplies, and also reduce noise. All in all, staying put has fewer variables and more you can control, and there's also just less visibility to the outside world and its threats.
Sure, people are going to assume you left with everybody else. That means you might have scavengers coming through, but in the first night, supermarkets are still probably have plenty of food, so you're not really in all that much danger. It's really more about gathering information, right? But D was the correct answer.
Public spaces during this time are basically chaos zones because
Dick Rickham says sleeping in shifts is important in zombie scenarios too. If you have a second person. If you're solo, it's a different thing. You're not going to be able to sleep in shifts. But also, you could, you might be wasting your energy, right? You need to stay sharp for travel because your goal is to get out of the city. You don't want to stay in the city. So, you don't also want to be groggy traveling during the twilight hours day. What do you guys think? When is the best time to travel?
supermarkets and gas stations are early hotspots for violence, looting, infection spread. The majority of people that die early in disaster events do so because they go out thinking that they can grab more supplies. Another reason to stay is because waiting off...
Big B says you should have at least a week of water and food per family member. Yeah, I mean, in Florida, that's pretty common. Everybody in Florida has that. You know, we keep water on hand, we all keep food on hand, and everyone's armed. Like, if somebody wanted to invade Florida, it'd be tough, right? There's already a bunch of survivalists and stuff, and everyone already has, because we get hurricanes and stuff. So our power will be knocked out. A lot of people have generators. And again, everyone's armed. Absolutely everyone is armed.
And give you more information. In the next 12 to 48 hours, you'll learn what's happening, where to go or avoid, and whether there's an organized response. And so people who leave immediately often walk into blind danger. The only exceptions where leaving might be the right choice is if your building is actually compromised, like if there's an infected person inside and there's no way to secure it, or if you have a clear escape plan with pre-packaged supplies and like a safe destination, or if you live somewhere that's completely indefensible. So for example, there's a glass storefront, or you're on the ground floor, or if there's wide entry points.
Okay, you shouldn't live in those places. If it's completely undefensible, you shouldn't live there in the first place. Because you're not always... It's not going to be a zombie apocalypse. You might just have, like, minorities come through. Or youths. Everyone's seen those New York Times articles about youths. Youths. There's been a youth outbreak. Everyone hide. Youths. or thugs. You get the picture. You get... Catabombo, I wonder how dating app scene would be during a situation like that. Wear a condom, I guess. Or just start, like, kidnapping people. What's it matter? Oh, zombie ate them.
Not the safest thing to do is to stay and fortify and wait. So you've decided to stay put and...
That's my go-to. Just start kidnapping people. I got all kinds of people. Some of them are zombies, some of them aren't.
Right up the first wave in your apartment. You've locked the doors, you've pulled the curtains, and you've confirmed...
Ardenshire says, is this a zombie apocalypse quiz or the illegal immigrant invasion quiz? Same thing? Yeah, same thing. Same thing. Literally the same fucking thing. All right, I'll read question 2. Everyone keep your own score. You've decided to stay put and ride out the first wave from your apartment. You've locked the door, pulled the curtains, and confirmed it's a real outbreak. What's the smartest next move?
It's a real outbreak. What's the smartest next move? Option A, start moving heavy furniture to block entry points.
Sure, that's a good one.
Option B, fill bathtubs, sinks, and pots with clean water.
That's probably what I would go for first.
Option C, inventory your kitchen and make a ration plan. Or option D, turn on the news and call your loved ones for updates.
Okay, yeah, inventory your kitchen and make a ration plan is not the worst idea, but it's the very first day. You probably have a decent amount of food on hand. You don't know if the power is going to go out, and with the power going out, water will... This is what I do. I fill bathtubs and sinks. When I'm about to get hit with a hurricane, you fill the bathtubs. right? You fill the bathtubs. You, yeah, that's just what I do, right? Anybody else? Big B says A and B. Start moving heavy furniture to block the entry points. Yes, but you want to leave your options open, right? You don't know if you have to escape quickly or something like, well, I don't know. I'm going to say B. B is best, but B, C, and D are okay choices. They're all okay choices, except for turn on the news and call loved one. Fuck them. Hey, you guys hear about the zombies? Yeah. Yeah, we heard about the fucking zombies. Okay, jeez. All right? You have a really awkward phone call with your parents. You're just like, yeah. Yeah, I know about the zombies. Thank you. I have eyes, Mom. Jesus Christ. Don't put Dad on. Yeah, Dad. Yeah. Yes. I told you. You don't want to do that because people are going to think you're a zombie. And they come in blasting. That's what I would do. I just start shooting everybody I see.
The correct answer is option B, fill all possible containers with clean water. So the reason this is the right answer is because in disaster scenarios, especially when infrastructure is unstable, water is often one of the first systems to fail. City water might stop flowing or become contaminated within hours of an outbreak. And since you're at home and you have a bathtub, bathtubs can act as large reservoirs for washing or flushing, and pots, bottles, and kettles are drinking water reserves. Because the power might cut out at any time, this is definitely the most important thing to do, and you should fill any container while the water pressure is still on. So why are the other options not?
Yeah, this is just, I've never, yeah, that's just what you do. That's just what you, when I'm preparing for something like that, I have my little checklist. I have gasoline. I have like a radio. I have food in a freezer, but it's like a chest freezer, right? So even if the power goes out, it'll still be frozen for like a number of days. I have ways to cook food. I have plenty of bottled water, flashlights. I'm armed because you never know. And then, yeah, you have to ride it out. Some of these storms get pretty nasty, right? You also might have to defend yourself from wildlife like gators and stuff, because during floods, everything's coming out of the fucking forest. Everything's coming out of the jungle, and they're looking for any high ground. And my house is high ground. So it's something to consider. Raccoons, whatever, what have you. Blacks. I'm sorry, youths.
Correct. So option A, if you barricade, this is important, but time-sensitive utilities come first. For option C, ration planning, again, this is smart, but no food is a problem in 3 days, while no water is a problem in the first day. And option D,
this is true. You get, running out of water is a bad scenario quickly. I've done it. It's not good. Yeah, when you run out of water, you are in like an emergency situation within hours. Food, we can all skip a meal. We can all skip a day's worth of meals. We're going to be fine. But like water, it becomes a real situation very quickly. So, yeah. And yeah, fuck the news. I don't trust the news now.
Turning on the news and calling your loved ones, that sounds useful, but communication noise risks attention, and you can also gather that information after securing the basics. Okay, so it's 15 minutes in, containers are full, the pressure is dropping, the power is still on, but it could cut out at any moment.
She looks like a zombie. She's just Asian. I think Asians are like that.
What's the smartest next?
Dick Rickham says zombies aren't Asian. There's a difference. There's a difference. Frozen will eat anything, but I'm pretty sure he's got, his faculties together and stuff. And, I don't think he's going to bite me. I've been in the car with him. He hasn't bit me.
Next move. Option A, inventory food in order of perishability.
Okay, containers are full. Pressure is dropping. Power is still on, but could cut at any moment. What's the smartest next move? A, inventory food in order of perishability and set ration sizes. It's a decent idea.
And set ration sizes. Option B, stand on the balcony to gauge how many people are on the street.
No. That's a bad idea.
Option C, drag a bookcase against your front door for extra bracing.
Bookcase again, so large furniture against your door. I mean, if that's necessary, but I mean, by this time you've probably already barricaded enough and you don't want to risk all that noise.
Or option D, write a visible note on your front door saying alive inside, uninfected, in case help
comes. I wouldn't do that either. I wouldn't let people. No, I wouldn't do that either. No, I wouldn't broadcast your presence at all. I would shut off the lights, draw the curtains, and make as little noise as possible. Nobody's home, and you can't get in. All right? That's the message you want to put across. I'm not standing on my balcony being like, wow, there's a lot of dead people out there. You're going to get shot. You're going to get sniped. Or they're going to be like, look, that guy's alive. Maybe he has something. So what are we thinking? Dick Wickham says D. Ardenshire says A. Big B says C. Anybody else? Surfing USA. That's a dumb name. 9mm, yes, love me a 9mm, he says. Okay, so what would I pick? I'm going to pick... I would do the rationing. I would do rationing. A. Surfing says B. Dick Wickham A. Yeah, okay. Okay.
help comes. So the correct answer here is option A, inventory and ration food.
See, I told you. Dude, look. You want to know what you have. You want to be as subtle as possible. You want to be low-key as possible because people are out there hunting and, like, you know, it's very soon. So gangs are going to be out there. They're still going to have guns and stuff before they turn. Like, the gangs and, like, the hood rats and stuff, they're going to be the first to turn, by the way. They have guns now, but that's not going to help them very long. They're not good shots. They are not good shots.
The reason that this is important is because a calorie plan prevents panic eating and also using fridge power while you still have fridge power. Option B is
Surfin says I couldn't see option A. I read it aloud.
Incorrect because this makes you a visible target.
You see
Your
that?
silhouette against the sky is bait for both infected people and opportunistic survivors, and it's not worth the risk this early. Option C, bracing the door, is not wrong, but it's slightly premature. You're still going to want flexibility to move between the rooms and also possibly scavenge from your neighbors or adjust sound or light control. And option D, the front door note, this might emotionally feel smart, but ultimately it's a liability. This is because it draws attention to your apartment and it also gives away the fact that someone is alive inside and likely with resources.
There you go. There you go. And he's not turned. He's alive. He's got resources. He can survive. I'm having a tough time, but I have this gun. Right? So you just go in blasting and then you take everything they have, right? Surfin says I'm blind so I can't hear. You can type fine. Dick Rickham says terrible at planning too. Well, everybody knows that. What do you think about hiding in a zoo? Did they do that? Did they do that? Was that The Last of Us? Okay, moving on. Is everyone keeping tally? Everyone keeping
It
score?
also just increases your risk of being targeted by desperate people, and there's no guarantee who reads this note. So you're an hour into the outbreak, the supplies are counted, you share the space with your two flatmates. What's the next?
Okay, supplies are counted. So you have your rationing, you have your bathtubs full of water. Your house is barricaded well enough. Pat Wilcoom for $2. Thank you so much. John, who is the first pick on Daywave for the Zombie Survivor draft, assuming travel isn't a consideration? Well, me. Right? Me? Like, is it me plus somebody? None of them. None of them. Me alone. I would have 1,000,000 times better odds just being by myself than having to carry one of those assholes. I'm already carrying the show. I can't carry them through a zombie survival.
Option A, establish a silent alert or knock code for movement inside the flat. Option B, cook a large hot
Okay,
meal before the gas or
I will read these. Option A, establish a silent alert / knock code for movement inside the flat. Okay, so you want to stay quiet, but you want to be able to communicate with your flatmates. All right, I can see that. B, cook a large hot meal before the gas or electricity dies. The smell is probably going to be attracting people. You don't want to make smells. You want to be as low key as possible.
electricity dies. Option C, assign one person to sit by the peephole and watch the hallway. Or
no, I don't think that's necessary.
Or option D, start binge charging every device you own.
Okay. That's a tough one. So it's still early on. Maybe smells aren't the worst idea. Maybe cooking a large hot meal before. But establish a silent alert / knock code for the movement inside the flat is not the worst idea. Ooh. Binge charging every device you own. If the electricity is still on, having devices is going to be a good idea. Assign a person to sit by the peephole and watch the hallway. I don't think I would do that. I just think that's not necessary. You'd be able to hear somebody coming. I'm going to start charging stuff. I'm gonna start charging stuff. Surfing says A. Dance Not says A. Or D. You can't pick all of them. Just pick one, guys. Pick one. You can't pick multiple No. Anybody who picks multiple choices gets it wrong by default. Okay? Wrong by default. Hey, Thought. I don't know what came before this, but I vote D then A. Shh. It's not her fault. She's a woman. She can't follow directions. Okay. D, I'm going to say D. I like this.
So the correct option is option A, to have a silent alert system. So the reason this is the right answer is because having discipline in how you communicate can stop accidental shouting, accidental noise, and door opens later. Hot food and device charging matters, but all of these other things can wait until rules against loud mistakes, which are potentially fatal mistakes, are put in place.
Okay, well, you could do both at the same time, but all right, I'll take that one.
So you're now 2 hours into the outbreak. Communications
2 hours? We've really covered a lot of ground.
are set, and it's still quiet outside. What do you do next?
Communications are set. It's still quiet outside. By the way, Thought, do you know what we're doing? This is a zombie survival guide quiz, and so, we're gauging how good you are at surviving zombies. Surfing for $2 says, contact merchant, ask him for a 50-50. No, I'm not doing that.
Option A, pick one windowless interior room as the fallback or the sleep space. Option B, clear the hallway outside your unit of any loose objects. Option C, start boiling tap water to sterilize it while power remains. Or option D, spread your stored water containers across different rooms in case of a breach.
A. Select one windowless interior room for a fallback / sleep space. You wanna have like a safe room, right? So you have your outer perimeter, and then you have an inner perimeter in case that outer perimeter gets breached. That way you have this 2-tier kind of system. Clear the hallway outside of your... I think that's a bad idea. You put yourself at risk. You could get bit by a zombie. You can make a lot of noise, attracting looters. Start boiling tap water to sterilize it while the power remains. This is not the worst idea, but you've already filled up your bathtub. We're only 2 hours in. It's safe to assume that the water is still good, right? Assuming, right? So I don't think that's quite necessary. Spread your stored water containers across different rooms in case of a breach. Well, if there is a breach, are you going to get stuck for long enough to need water? I don't think that's really... And then where are you going to get stuck? Just in any old room? I think A is the correct answer. Anybody? A or also A? Stop it. Stop it. Thought says D. Dick Rickens says A. All right, I think we're pretty unanimous about A is the correct thing to do here.
So the correct option here is option A, designate a fallback room.
Good work, team!
So the reason this is the right
Good
answer
work.
is because if the outer flat is breached, you need a last line of defense already chosen. So this is about prioritizing worst case preparedness before it's too late. By the 2-hour mark, we're assuming you've already secured water, you've already locked down and you've gone dark, and also the initial chaos has passed, but stability is still fragile. So
I need more water, all this water talk, but I can't just let it play. So everybody sit there while I go to get water. Okay. I should have left with the next question up, but I didn't. So I don't want you guys getting any head starts ahead of me. So that is what it is. I'm the leader of this cult, and I shall remain so. I think we should start sacrificing people. Thought? Do you volunteer? We'll talk about it.
Option B, clearing the hallway of loose objects, is a good idea, but it's not really worth the risk of sound unless there's an active threat outside. Option C, boiling the water, sounds smart, but you've already filled containers at this point, and the tap water is still running, so it's not yet unsafe. The power right now might stay on for hours, or it might just cut suddenly, but even then, you can boil the water from the fallback room later. Boiling it right now just creates unnecessary heat, noise, and smell, which are all signals that you want to prevent early on. And finally, D, spreading the water containers around the room. This is like a good idea, but it's minor optimization. Obviously, if you're breached, you don't want all of your water in one place, but again, if you're breached that badly, the whole flat is essentially compromised. And the fallback room should already have its own mini storage. Okay, so you've made it.
Okay, all right. Leo says Frozen? No, this is not Frozen. Yeah. Sulk is getting attacked right now. No, not at all. Did you hear blasting? No. I come out blasting. No, okay, unless they do this knock. And then I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna shoot at that person. I might forget the code. You know, I'll be like, was that the code? It was. But it's too late by then. I already shot them. When do we start repopulation? I'll be more active then. You know, if you get an extra 5 minutes between, you know, duties. Go ahead.
Made it to the end of day 1. The barricades.
No, but that's creating unnecessary smells, feral pigeon. So that's, you got to keep those low. If a looter walks in and be like, God, it smells like sex in here. That could give us away.
Water, food, signals, safe room, and hygiene are all handled. What should you do to finish the day?
Okay, finishing the day. Day 1, right? We covered a lot. We got water, we got food, we got our backup. We're fairly barricaded and all that. We haven't made too much noise. We don't exactly know what's going on outside, but we do have like electricity still, I think, so we're getting news reports, but barricades, water, food, signals, safe room, and hygiene are handled. What should we do to finish day 1?
Option 1, stay awake all night in rotating 2-hour guard shifts.
Somebody already said that. Guard shifts.
Option B, start a small cooking fire on the balcony to reduce indoor smells.
That doesn't really sound like a very good idea. That's going to be a absolute billboard that somebody's alive in there.
Option C, signal from a window in Morse code that survivors are inside.
That is literally a billboard.
Or option D, mentally map a 10 to 14 day isolation timeline and nightly routine.
I would do option D. It's good to have a routine. It keeps you sharp. It keeps you sane. And it keeps you busy. Does anybody stay awake all night rotating 2-hour guard shifts? Does anybody think A is a good idea? Big B says A. The cooking fire, that seems like a bad idea to me all around. And the signal from a window in a Morse that survivors are... Yeah, that seems like a bad idea too. Because You don't want to signal that you're there and alive. You don't want people to know you're there. So what do we think? Surfin says D. A is good, but D is better. Shimo says A. So a couple of people on the guard shifts. A couple of people on the isolation timeline. Planning can be the next day. All right. Is everybody set? All right. Here we go.
So the correct answer here is option D, build the timeline. So the reason that this is the right answer is because this sets psychological expectations and also ration discipline. Setting fires, making signals, or having exhausting all-night watches just create risk without adding any immediate survival value.
Exactly. You're already barricaded up. You don't expect too much trouble, and you'll be able to hear people coming down the hallway. Remember, you're in an apartment in a mid-sized city. So keeping somebody up all night just to look through a peephole, it seems unnecessary, and having somebody awake like that could also cause unnecessary noise and exhaustion, and you have to keep morale high. This is another thing. Keeping morale high is important. You have to, have a reasonably good time. You have to play games, but you also have to keep active, right? You have to keep a schedule. You have to have a routine. Otherwise, people are going to eat each other, and not for being zombies. It's okay. I'm going to lead the cult, and we will be safe.
So it's now been 48 hours since the beginning of the outbreak. You've not heard...
No, you can sleep, Pat. You'll be able to sleep. You'll be fine. You just sleep in your safe room, right? You have the outside barricade. You have the inside barricade. You sleep in the safe room, all of you together. You're armed, hopefully, and you should be in pretty good shape. There's just no reason to keep a guard awake at all times. It's just it's a drain on resources.
Heard any sirens? No screams? No gunfire?
Anpu says circle jerks keep the morale high. But what if it's you and 2 chicks, right? What if it's you and 2 chicks, and then you just you can't jerk off chicks. You can watch them do stuff, and then you jerk off. That's what I'll do.
Just silence. You crack a window.
Some looters are going to be walking by just here. What's that? You're blowing our cover. Almost done. Okay, be quiet. It's terrible.
And you listen. Then movement sounds faint and far away. What do you do now? Option A.
Escape from Innisma says, but I'm so hungry.
Slide open the window a few more inches for vent.
Oh, he's just going to start eating people. Okay, next question. I think we're doing pretty good. I think we missed a couple. I think I missed 1 or 2, but it's been 48 hours. No sirens, no screams, no gunfire, just silence. You crack a window and listen. Movement sounds faint and far. What do? Option A, slide open the window a few inches for ventilation. The air inside is stale.
Ventilation, because the air inside is stale. Option B, scan the street from behind the curtain for movement or patterns. Option C, step briefly onto your balcony and confirm how many bodies you can see below. Or option D, knock on the ceiling to check if the neighbors upstairs are still alive.
Okay, I'm going to give my reasoning. Slide open the window a few inches for ventilation because the air is stale. This is a bad idea because you don't know if there's somebody outside waiting for you to open that window, and they're going to opportunistically put their fingers in there and jam it open. And then you've let in a bunch of zombies, right? Scan the street from behind the curtain for movement or patterns. That actually seems like a decent idea. You can peek through a window. You're not creating a silhouette or anything like that. You're gathering information, and then you're not exposing yourself. C, step briefly onto the balcony, confirm how many bodies are below. You're going to get sniped. And then you're broadcasting your presence that somebody's still alive. Knock on the ceiling to check if the neighbor upstairs is still alive. Fuck that guy. The tap dancer upstairs? No. If I can't hear him, he's dead. I'm not going to check on him. Anybody? B, not D. B. Yeah, not D. Fuck that guy. Knobs Dog says window. So you would open the window. Severed fingers go good with ketchup and mustard like hot dogs. No, they're like crunchy hot dogs, I guess. All right. Has everybody voted? Has everybody voted? Has everybody voted? Okay, here we go.
So the correct answer here is option B, scan the street discreetly. So the reason that this is correct is
B.
because in the 48-hour period, this phase is about information without exposure. If you're looking quietly through a covered window, this can give you insight into movement without sound or silhouette. Opening a window or stepping outside creates unnecessary noise and profile. And knocking is an even worse idea because you don't know who's alive or what they'd do if they heard you.
They might be alive and just fucking hate your ass and put a sheet out the window that says survivors below, right? Just blowing your cover. Because you don't know, that guy might hate your ass. Big B says, I did fart, the window can be opened a little bit. Well, if Big B's doing trucker farts in the fucking, I'm feeding your ass to the zombies, dude. I'm pushing you out. I'll be like, we can't have the smell of rotting corpses coming out of our... No, because they're going to think we're infected and come in. Yeah, no. Get out. Get out. Who made this Kid expert? I don't know. Are you an expert? Hey, Forever Alone. Moo, he says.
You suspect that the apartment across the hall is abandoned. The door is cracked. What do you do? Option A, enter quietly and search it for supplies.
You suspect the apartment across the hall is abandoned. The door is cracked. What's your next move? So you're looking out the peephole, right? The apartment across the hall, the door is open. It looks abandoned. Option 1, enter quietly and search for supplies.
Option B, close and secure the door from the outside to prevent risk later.
Okay, close it. Okay, so you walk up and then you close it, making sure that nothing comes out of there because somebody might be dead inside. You don't know.
Option C, leave it untouched.
Leaving it untouched? That's not a bad one.
Or option D, knock once, wait, and then cautiously enter with your knife drawn.
Okay, you can doorbell ditch and then run. Ding dong, and then run. I'm going to say option A, enter quietly and search for supplies. Anybody else? I don't know why you would close the door. And I don't know. Surfing for $2 says she's played too much Dead Rising. Maybe. Knobs Dog says B or C. Fucking Knobs Dog, stop doing that. Pick one. Or I'm feeding you to the zombies. Pat says B. Shimo says C. Escape says C. And I can see why you would want to leave it untouched because you want to leave no sort of no clue as to why you're there or there's somebody there or alive or something like that. Because somebody might have left that open as a trap or something like that. But I would still want to go in and check for supplies. That's what I would still want to check for. You don't know what you can find in their weaponry, right? Somebody may have left in a hurry. And then, you get a sweet-ass machine gun. It's like Burt Gummer from Tremors. He's just got just walls of guns. That seems too good. And if there's a Zom in there, that's what I call him because I say it so much. I'd be cracking some skulls. That's what I'd do. I could take a zombie. With my burps. I'm not going to be sneaky. I'm just going to walk in belching. Hey, I'm here, Zom. They'd be like, what the fuck? They'd be confused even though they're brain dead. Okay. Forever says D. Big B, I'm not counting that. If you pick 2, you're getting it wrong. Okay, moving on. Let's see.
So the correct answer here is option A, enter quietly and search. So the reason this is the right answer is because at this point, controlled scavenging is strategic.
Knobs Dog says John will be anally raped by zombies. Yeah, well, how do you fill your off time? What are you doing with your downtime, If
a room is clearly empty, it's better than...
Knobs Dog just sitting there, jerking off, leading people to our... We're like, Knobs dog, quietly. And he's like, oh, sorry. Stop it, Knob. Anpu says, might find some T-51 power armor. Possibly, yeah. It's all about the mystery, isn't it?
That you take its resources before someone clearly more desperate does. Avoiding all unknowns also isn't sustainable long term. Don't knock.
Knob says option F, jerk it. That's always an option. But you can do other things. You can do two things at once, right? You could be scavenging, right? And then your pants are unzipped. You're jerking it. It doesn't seem like the most effective thing to do, but like, if you're a pervert like Knobs dog, he got to. He can't control himself.
Don't announce. Don't waste the opportunity.
How do we know there are no zombie chickens running around? Now, when you say chickens, do you mean chickens? Because animals don't get infected by zombie viruses. I thought we made this clear at the beginning. I don't think you were here. Zombies, it's classical zombies. Animals are not affected.
At night, you hear footsteps and whispering outside your apartment door. It's clearly human.
Dogs and cats would be everywhere attacking people after a few days. And that'd be fun to watch.
What do you do? Option A, stay completely silent. Don't move. Don't.
At night, you hear footsteps whispering outside your apartment door. It's very clearly human. What do you do? Option A, stay completely silent. Don't move. Don't make a sound. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Don't make noise. Option B, whisper to your group to grab weapons in case they come in.
Okay.
Option C, make a deliberate sound to show that you're at home and you're not worth breaking in.
Okay. I might go with option B because I'd be like, yo, grab your weapons. If they come in, we just start busting skulls. We start mauling, right? And, maybe we're going to get some prisoners out of this.
Or option D, wait for them to move on and then open the door quietly to
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't open the door.
check.
All right. Pat says A, but with a gun. E. Leo. What if it's a zombie? Are you going to grape a zombie? I mean, it depends. It really depends. B. Forever Alone says blast. Dan Snot says A. Escape says B. Shimo B. Lucas says 7. Oh, hey, Lucas. Donatello just says Jews. That doesn't help in this situation. We're not trying to find out who did it. We're trying to find out how to survive, okay? Knobs Dodge is just jerking it in the fucking corner. You fucking useless, bro. You're useless. Just nut and be done with it, for God's sakes.
So the correct answer here is option A, stay silent. So the reason that this is the right answer is because this isn't the time to act. Silence is your defense. If they're looters, they'll avoid resistance, and if they're panicking, noise can make them choose your door. If they're infected, sound draws them. You only move if they try to enter.
I don't know. I'd still be like, yo, get your weapons, right? I'd be real quiet about it. Be like, you should have your weapons on you, but like, pull that thing. Pull it, right? You're not going to make much sound. If I'm just sitting there, let's all be quiet. We can still be quiet and have guns in our hands. So, Miss Ching Chong, sorry, you have to, fumble around in the dark because you can't see all that well because you're constantly squinting. But I'd get weapons still.
And even then, you don't speak. Your flatmate whispers too loudly during a routine water check, and you hear a muffled groan from somewhere in the hallway a few minutes later. What do?
Okay, we got a zombie situation on deck. Look at how wide her face is, says Goofy Boots. Okay. What if people just start getting way racist during a zombie apocalypse, right? Like, okay, we're already exterminating the zombs. So while we're at it, I mean, we already got big piles of burning corpses. Yada, yada, yada. Pile of shoes. Your flatmate whispers too loudly. Routine water check. You hear a muffled groan from somewhere in the hallway. A few minutes later, what do?
Option A, take a position at the door with a weapon in case someone comes through. Option B, quietly relocate everyone to your fallback room and lock the door. Option C, tell them to stay put and go investigate alone while it's quiet. Or option D, whisper sharply at them, telling them to shut up and listen.
Nonstop, shut up! Almost done. Knob! Right? You're gonna get us killed, bro. Take position at the door with a weapon in case somebody comes through. That's not a terrible idea. You have the element of surprise, but you don't know how many of them there are. You know, they could have backups and stuff like that. Quietly relocate everyone to the fallback room and lock the door. That's probably what I would go with. Tell them to stay quiet and go investigate alone in the... What is this, a horror movie? Okay, let's split up. You go... Hey, black guy, go investigate that by yourself. We're going to the safe room. Nah. I'm being the black guy. Hell no. I don't even know how I got in this situation. I'm just trying to get back my daughter. He's one of those black guys. Whisper sharply. I already told Knobs Dog to stop jerking off. B. Option B. Okay, Dan stop. B. Forever Alone says D. Telling Knobs Dog to stop jerking off. Okay. Big B says B. Knobs Dog says jerking it. Yeah. Surfing says B. Okay.
So the correct answer...
Escape says send the blacks and the Jews to investigate. What? Like as a team?
is option B, relocate to the fallout room. So the reason this is the right answer is because containment is the protocol here. Fallback spaces exist for this reason.
Okay, so it's B.
You don't split up,
It's
you
B.
don't go hunting, and you don't escalate anything. This is defensive discipline. Move to the stronghold and listen. If nothing happens, then you wait. And if something breaches, you're ready. You overhear a broadcast on a still working radio. Evacuation might be happening 6 miles away at an old...
Okay, broadcast, evacuation happening 6 miles away at an old stadium. No details, no schedule. What do? How do you know it's 6 miles away then? There's no details and no schedules, but it might be 6 miles. In what direction? What do you just walk 6 miles away from your apartment and go in a big ass circle?
Stadium, but you don't have any further details and there's also no schedule. What do? Option A, immediately pack and leave while the streets are quiet. Option B, wait 24 hours to gather more information or listen for updates. Option C, prepare a bag and scout the route before committing. Or option D, ignore it.
Ooh. Well, it would really depend on the kind of situation I'm in. Preparing a bail bag is probably what I would do, but I might also wait 24 hours. But if you're not getting details now, what makes you think you're going to get details in 24 hours? In which case, things might have gotten a lot worse. I'm going to say C. I wouldn't do A because I wouldn't do A. Okay, B, C, C. Knobs Dog, I'm not even reading yours anymore. Okay, okay. Okay, so it's between B and C.
So the correct answer here is option C, which is prepare to move, but don't move just yet. So the reason...
Okay, the bail bag. The bail bag, you get... Yeah, because you want to be able to prepare... You want to be prepared, right? Because you don't know what you're going to see out there, but you're not going to move immediately. You want to make sure you get out there and, like, be equipped. Equipeth. You have enough water. You have enough rations. I mean, 6 miles doesn't seem like that much. But if you're going through a city that's infested by zombies, it might take you a day to get there. It might take you a full-ass day to get there. Because you're going to be ducking in alleyways and shit like that, and... Yeah, always be prepared. Yeah.
reason this is the right answer is because if you leave now, you risk walking into chaos or nothing at all. But ignoring it completely is also a gamble. The right call here is controlled contingency. You should prep a bag, watch for signals, and then assess the route. Okay, so you've gathered your bag, and now you have to choose one weapon to take when fleeing the apartment.
Okay, Lucas Hardar says you should have enough food and water to sit the fuck in your house for 30 days, fuck anything that's happening outside. That's, I mean, that would make sense too, right? Because, like, if there's like, an escape or, like, a safe zone, right? It's probably going to be there in 30 days, if not safer too. Then you actually can outlast a lot of the zombies because a lot of them will starve to death. A lot of them will starve to death, and they'll feast on each other because they're zombies, but that will still whittle down the weakest of the zombies. Then you just have the stronger zombies, right, that have been feasting on zombie flesh. And any people out there know how to survive, okay? So they will also be difficult. But if you have enough food and water in your house, you'd be in pretty good shape. You'd be in pretty good shape. But should you be forced to leave, you'd want to pack a go bag. You should always have one. It's smart to have. Maybe with like an AFAC, some ammunition, a firearm, food, water, flashlight, emergency communications, that kind of thing. Maybe a way to make fire, stuff like that. You gathered your gear, and now you have to choose which weapon to take when fleeing the apartment, which is the smartest thing to bring. Weaponry. Good.
What's the smartest grab? Option A is a long crowbar. Option B, a short machete. Option C is a steel baseball bat. Or option D, a cordless drill.
Okay, screw zodiac signs. Which zombie apocalypse weapon you using? I didn't say a. I said a fake. It's a med kit, you stupid asshole. Shut up, Knob. I'm gonna fucking ban you, dude. Feral Pigeon says flamethrower. Do you actually have a flamethrower, and do you have enough flamethrower juice to like carry around? And are you just out there just torching Charlie, dude? Like, whoa. That's pretty hardcore. Despite says the crowbar. Knobstock says machete. Oh, good. He's done jerking off. Lucas says my fucking rifle with a can. Yeah, but assuming you don't have a rifle with a can. And yeah. I have a pistol and a rifle, so I would take both. But if you have a can, that'd be great. C, baseball bat. Damn, bro. A baseball bat? You're taking the baseball bat with you? That's going to get messy. Shimo says bat too. A lot of people are saying bat. You do it with a crowbar. It's fucking B. I know it. The machete. The machete can really, you can lop some heads off, right? Like you can do some damage. No one's picking the drill. Probably because that is personal, dude. Like, if you kill somebody with a drill, you're making eye contact with them. That is some personal shit. You're like, hold still. Yeah, there we go. I would carry that thing from Old Country for No Men, the cow killer thing with the tank, and I just go, just fucking executing zombies. No, I would use the crowbar because you can open windows and shit with it. And like a machete, the crowbar is the only thing I can use it for other things besides, killing zombies. Yeah, that's what I would do. The drill will run out of power. Yeah, and then it's just a piece of shit. I love how John made what title? What title? Whatever. Moving on. Farrell says, I wouldn't pick the drill because battery life. That's perfectly fair. And I don't think I own a skill bit. A drill bit? You don't own a drill bit? You don't have a drill bit? I wouldn't take it because I have Ryobi stuff, right? And so I'd go at the zombie and it would like die. And I'd be like, God damn it! No, crowbar for me.
So the correct answer here is option A, the long crowbar. So the reason this is the right answer is because this is the weapon that you're going to grab before leaving your apartment. So the weapon choice here needs to factor in, number one, how lethal.
You know what I would actually grab? I would grab a flintlock rifle, right? Where I'd have to like load the powder in with a bullet and stuff like that, and I'd be like, hold still, poof, right? Then I'd have to reload for the next 30 seconds. If I had some boys, then we can actually establish a volley going, and then we would really be doing some damage.
It is against zombies, especially skull trauma. Number two, utility in the field, so how it works against doors, fences, or breaking into places. Number three, durability and portability. You want a weapon that won't break and it won't slow you down. And
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to break a crowbar. Yep.
Number four, ease of use under stress, so no skill or precision needed. The reason the crowbar is the best choice is because it delivers focused and dense impact, which is ideal for cracking skulls.
Hell yeah it is.
As a multi-tool, so it can open doors, pry fences, break windows. There's no edge to maintain, there's no power required, and it's nearly indestructible. And basically, it works in both combat and escape. All in all, it's the most versatile survival tool that you can carry. The machete was a viable option, but it's risky. It's good in the sense that it's fast and it's light, and it's good for clearing brush or like cutting rope.
But like most likely, and I'm being legit, most likely you're going to cut yourself. You're going to cut yourself, or you're going to cut like one of your team members or something like that. You're going to swing it wrong, you're going to hit your leg, and now you have a huge bleeding mess to deal with, and now you're hobbled. The machete, unless you're traveling through the woods or something like that, where you can actually hack through plants, but then you're making tons of noise. But I mean, if you have to go through woods, you have to go through woods. But yeah, the crowbar is definitely the easy choice here.
But it's not really designed for hard impact because it can slice through soft tissue, but it might get stuck.
Lucas says, rule number one in any disaster, don't get hurt. And like, it is easy to get hurt. Like, especially if you're tired, you've been at this for a few days, you're not really paying attention. You can hack your own hand off, like you can cut a finger, and then you're dealing with infection and stuff. It can really get bad fast.
Stuck in bone. And remember from the beginning of this video, I told
Frail says, I'm not going to cut myself. You will, though. You will. You might not cut yourself, but you're going to cut one of your teammates, one of your flatmates or something like that. It'd be like, I thought he was a zombie. No, that was just Greg. He's just a dick. Well, it's over now.
That in order to defeat a zombie, you have to aim for its brain.
What's done is done.
And in order to get to the brain, you have to go through the skull. And a machete can get stuck in a skull or in the bone of its neck if you're trying to cut its head off. The baseball bat also looks like it could be a really good idea, but it's probably going to perform poorly. The reason for this is because it's unnecessarily heavy, it's tiring to swing, and also there's no extra function besides the intimidation. Bats also often glance off of bone, so it's actually not great for cracking skulls, especially if you're swinging at a bad angle. And the cordless...
I could crack some skulls with a bat. I could crack some skulls with a crowbar too, though. Like, probably easier. Like, if you get them with, like, the hook end right there, you just bury that into the top of their skull, it's over, dude.
Drill is wrong because this might sound like a really good idea, but drills are not going to be lethal unless it's precisely placed.
I know, dude, and that would be like gory as shit, right? Like you get on top of one, you just drill it through his eye, and he's like, ah, and you're like, yeah.
It's also going to require two hands, close contact, and also, most importantly, electricity and battery power. And once it's dead, it's useless, and there's no extra utility or intimidation value to it. You now go into your kitchen for a secondary weapon. Which of these gives you the best chance of stopping a zombie in close combat? Option A, a chef's knife. Option B, a wooden rolling pin. Option C, a butcher's cleaver. Or option D, a screwdriver.
Cleaver any day of the week. Cleaver any day of the week. Cleaver any day of the week. That's not even hard. They can get stuck. You're better off not using the hook in the skull. Shut up. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Honestly, that's a good point. But, like, okay, we're on the next one. All right. Escape says C, cleavage. She's a ditz. The girl? Yeah. Ardenshire says chef's knife. Now, why do you say that, Arden? I mean, like, the cleaver, you got some weight to that bad boy, right? You can lop off a head. You can, like, bury it in somebody's skull, and it's not as likely to get stuck as, like, the chef's knife. I wouldn't think so. Dick, okay, so a couple people are saying A with the chef's knife. A couple people are saying C. Despite says the screwdriver. You're a psychopath, dude. Lucas says, you're both psychopaths. A screwdriver? You're going to have to really jam that thing in there. That's what she said. Okay. All right, let's see what it is.
So the correct answer here is option C, a butcher's cleaver. So the reason this is the right answer is because a cleaver...
Thank you, Chinese lady. Ching Chong. Thank you. Chin, I believe her name is. And there's like a 50% chance I'm right.
has the mass and blade thickness to damage a skull with short-range strikes. The chef's knife is most likely going to be too thin, and it risks snapping or getting stuck. And the rolling...
Now, it really depends what kind of chef knife you have, right? If you have a good quality chef's knife, then you're probably going to be okay. But remember, you and your party are tired. You might be dehydrated. You might be exhausted. You've been walking for a while. You don't know what's going on. The cleaver is just a safer bet, right? It's easier to wield. A chef's knife could be, I mean, yeah, it could be fine, but you really have to place it more accurately than the cleaver, right? A cleaver you could just swing and like you're gonna cause damage, dude. And the screwdriver is just a bad idea all around. Oh, I mean, like, okay, you're hardcore, Lucas. But if you came out of that kitchen with a screwdriver, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Get a frying pan at least, dude. Get a big cast iron frying pan. A screwdriver?
It feels like a bat, but it's probably too light to do real damage.
Dick Rickham says a cheap cleaver can snap too. Sure, but it's less likely to snap. And if there's a cheap cleaver in there, there's probably a cheap chef's knife. Right? They're not going to, you go into a kitchen, they're not going to have a really nice chef's knife and then a cheap-ass cleaver. It's going to be similar quality. And then the cleaver is always going to have more heft, and it's always going to be less likely to snap than the chef's knife. But, yeah.
And as I said with the bat, most likely it'll bounce or glance off bone. The screwdriver here could be good because it could puncture, but it'll probably only go through soft points and you need perfect aim under pressure. Therefore, it's not the best option. So you've packed our small bag, and a local broadcast says that evacuation teams are moving towards a nearby stadium with...
Okay, packed small bag. Okay, you got your bailout bag. Water's nearly out. Local broadcast says evac teams are moving toward a nearby stadium within the next 48 hours. What time of day do you plan to move? Before she shows the option, tell me what you guys think. What time of day? Before, like, late at night, I would say. Like, probably a couple hours before sunrise. It would probably be the most ideal time to do it. It's like the lowest point of activity usually, even for zombies and stuff. 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I'd say that was probably sunrise, dusk, early morning. Depends if zombies are up. Zombies are always up. Maybe 2 a.m. That's a little bit early because I want at least, if you're moving in total darkness, then you have to use flashlights. And flashlights are kind of very visible at night. I'd want to leave a little bit closer to the twilight, so I'd have at least some vision. But again, easier to see you. But okay, yeah. All right, let's see.
Within the next 48 hours. What time
Surfing says midday because he's just fucking ballsy like that.
of day do you plan to move?
Balls!
Option A, leave just before dawn. Option B, leave in the middle of the day. Option C, leave after dark. Or option D, leave right away.
Just before dawn. Okay. All right.
So the correct answer here is option A, leave just before dawn. So the reason this is the right answer is because leaving right before sunrise gives you both enough light to navigate without drawing too much attention, while most threats, either human or zombie, are less alert. Night travel is not a good
Pharaoh says, before sunrise, it's the same rules as avoiding meth heads. It's actually very similar. It's like the same thing.
idea because it increases the risk of tripping, noise, or panic, and broad daylight also makes you way too visible. So you've exited.
Unless you're fucking surfing. Then he's like, yeah, middle of the day. High noon, he walks out. He's got his 6 shooters on his side. He's like, any zombies want to fuck with me? And then they just pile onto him and rip him to bits.
Of your apartment and you're making your way towards the stadium. Before seeing any zombies, you spot a group of 3 scavengers near a parked car. One is searching the trunk, another is standing lookout, and the third is carrying a pipe.
Before seeing zombies, you spot a group of 3 scavengers in our pile. Okay, searching trunk, standing lookout, and the third one is armed with a pipe. They haven't noticed you yet. What do? I would try to avoid them at all costs.
They haven't noticed you yet. What do? Option A, approach calmly and ask if they've seen safe zones.
No! No!
Option B, stay low and observe from a distance before deciding. Option C, circle wide and avoid contact entirely.
That one.
Or option D, follow them quietly to see where they're headed.
I wouldn't follow them either. That's a bad idea. They might have noticed you. You don't know if they've noticed you or not. You just assume that they have not. And if you follow them, you could be following them into a trap. They could be into like a base where there's other people watching. That just seems like a retarded idea. I would say circle wide and avoid contact entirely. So, despite says shoot him. Just guns blazing. Okay. Surfing's got that fucking screwdriver. He's like, yeah, I'll tune up these bastards. One's got a pipe in his hand. You got a screwdriver. He's going to hit you with that pipe and it's going to be over. Yeah, Jameson, we all have guns. All right? We all have guns. But let's just assume we don't have guns in this scenario, okay? Let's say we're in New York and we're all big flaming homos. What? You're gay if you don't have a gun. This is a fact. Argue with me about it. If you do not own a gun, you are gay. Or at least you like penises. Argue. Please argue with me. Farrell says I'd stab them in the back and head with my stab driver. Stab driver. Stab driver's good. Dom's dog says, hooray, I'm not gay. Now look, just because you have a gun doesn't mean you're automatically straight either. Knobs dog, I think you're an excellent example of that.
So the correct answer here is option C, avoid contact entirely.
Yeah. Avoid entirely. Yeah, see, that's you don't want to get into a confrontation. That's like the worst idea. Because you might get hurt if you're not killed.
So the reason this is the right answer is because a wide detour keeps your location, your supplies, and your intentions secret. Early survival states that
Shut up,
stealth
Goofy.
is more important than...
Shut up. Goofy says you're still a cyclist. It's an e-bike. It's different. It is. It is different. Shut up. Shut up. You guys are going to make fun of me when I have guns on my e-bike. You might.
I don't know. Option A, approaching calmly, is not the right answer.
I'm gonna mount my rifle to the front of my e-bike, so it's like a twisted metal kind of a thing, right? People ain't gonna be making jokes then. I'm just telling you.
In early outbreaks, strangers are often scared and hyper-reactive.
It's not gayer. It's not gayer. Shut up, dude. It's way cool. Shut up. You guys are lame. Shut up. You guys are lame.
Established yet, so it's more likely that they'll escalate or become violent or betray you. Option B, watching from a distance, gives you intel, but it burns time and it also risks you being spotted if they sweep their surroundings. And if they see you first, you lose initiative. Option D, following them.
Dick Rickham says nobody is setting up traps this early in the apocalypse. Maybe. However, it might not be an overt trap. They could just be going back to their hideout where they have a lookout and they see those people approaching and then they see another group behind them watching them. That's going to alert all kinds of people. Surfing for another $2 says, I have that gun from Dusk Till Dawn that Tom Savini had on his dick and the 6-shooter that looks like a dick. That's pretty cool.
Is also not the best answer because stalking unknown people is risky and you could walk into their base or another group. There's no true incentive to doing this early on, and if you're caught, you're seen as a threat or a potential ambusher. So on your
Feral Pigeon says, it's so cool, my mom said so. You haven't met my mom.
route, you end up crossing rooftops using ladders and fire escapes. On the next rooftop, you see a zombie standing on the far ledge.
She's all like, your mom must be supportive. No.
It's facing away and it hasn't noticed you yet. You need to cross.
You ended up on a rooftop and you're crossing rooftops using ladders and fire escapes. On the next rooftop, a zom is standing near the far ledge. It's facing away and hasn't noticed you. You need to cross the roof to reach the next ladder down. What do? Oh, it'd be so tempting just to run up and push it off the building. Wouldn't it? Just to run up and push it right off the building and then just watch it go splat.
Cross that roof to reach the ladder. What do? Option A, move slowly across the rooftop, hugging the wall and staying silent. Option B, throw a bottle into the street below and lure it off the edge. Option C.
And so it just falls. This isn't a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Try and sneak up and attack it with your crowbar. Or option D, wait for it to wander off before attempting the crossing.
All right, what do we got? What do you guys think? I know what I would do. And no, it wouldn't be push it off the edge. If I was being real legit about it, like trying to keep people alive, I would do option A here, which is move slowly across the rooftop, hugging the wall, staying silent. If it hasn't noticed me yet, and it's really far on the other side, it's probably not going to notice me because it's dark and zombies aren't really all good with that. Avoiding conflict is always the best decision. Always, always, always. If you go up and try to push it off, you might not be able to sneak up on it successfully. It could turn around and bite you. It could turn around and grab you and pull you off the edge with it. It's too risky. The best course of action would be trying to sneak by it. And waiting for it to wander off would just, it might not do that. It might just sit there for a long time. So, yeah. Crowbar that bitch. I can understand why you'd want to do that, right? Just run up and then clock it in the back of the head with a crowbar. That would be so satisfying. Like, it would be so good. But then, maybe some blood spray shot into your mouth or something like that, right? You don't want to have to deal with a biological hazard on top of that. It's just safer, always safer to avoid confrontation. Dan Snow says jerk off the zom. I mean, can I even be disappointed with you guys? No. I can't. Stan Snot's just giving a reach around. Fucking just giving the old rusty trombone to a zombie. He's all like, he'll leave us alone after this. He'll be real tired. That is one of the rustiest trombones, I must say.
So the correct answer here is...
It's like, it's the rustiest trombone I've ever given.
Option A, move silently across. So the reason this is the right answer is because at this point, the zombie hasn't seen you yet.
There you go. Yep.
You're not blocked and you don't need to engage. Stealth here minimizes all risk. Option B, throwing a bottle could work if you were on...
Knobstar says rusty zombone. Okay. All right.
around, but since you're on a rooftop, sound travels unpredictably, and also it could just alert more zombies below. Sneaking up to attack it is also not necessary since it hasn't noticed you yet, and it also...
Surfing says at this point we'd have ghost loads. No, it just shoot blood, dude. It just shoot like a black coagulated blood out of there. You're welcome for that image.
puts you in close quarters with no backup plan. Option D is potentially a good idea, but
It's just like Venom from Spider-Man getting shot at. It's a symbiote.
waiting could take forever, and it wastes daylight while giving up control. You're cutting through a narrow alley,
Shut
and about
up, you
30
are
feet
gay now.
ahead, you see a zombie. It hasn't noticed you yet, but it's directly between you and the exit. There's an open side door to your left, a dumpster you could climb, and also a loose pipe on the ground nearby.
Okay, cutting through a narrow alleyway. 30 feet ahead, you spot a zombie moving slowly, dragging one leg so it's injured. Or it's, hobbled. It's shambling. It hasn't noticed you yet, but it's directly between you and the exit. There's an open side door to your left, a dumpster you could climb, a loose pipe on the ground nearby. What do you do? Well, I would grab the loose pipe and climb on the dumpster. That way I'd have elevation and I'd come down on that motherfucker's skull. Kadoosh! Wham! Wham! Like that hatchet guy. That's exactly what I would do. That's exactly what I would do.
What do you do? Option A, pick up the pipe and confront it before it gets closer. Option B, go into the side door and barricade it behind you to wait for a better moment. Option C, climb the dumpster, toss a small object away, and misdirect the zombie away from the exit. Or option D, dash past the zombie now while there's still distance.
Okay. Option C, climb the dumpster and toss a small object, misdirecting it. Right. You want to avoid contact, and having added elevation gives you options. So option C would be my call. As the leader of this group, I choose option C. You guys don't get a say.
So the correct answer here is option C, use elevation and misdirection. So the reason this is the right answer is because it has the best combination of both control of the situation and also momentum. Here, you're staying away from the action and you preserve your forward route, but you also don't trigger aggression. And you might be wondering now why a sound distraction is the correct answer in the alleyway, while on the previous rooftop question
I'm gonna guess because it's an alleyway, and so it's narrow. You know exactly where the sound is like traveling. It doesn't give them a lot of option. You're not gonna get like flanked in an alleyway, right? It has to come down one way, so that would be my guess.
said that sound is unpredictable. This is because in the alleyway, you're in a contained space. So there's tight walls and there's short distance, and you can also see the zombie and it hasn't seen you yet. So here you're actually able to direct noise without just hoping that the zombie will react like in the previous question. And you have immediate visual feedback on how the zombie responds. And most importantly, you have escape options, such as a dumpster, side door, or a fallback path. Essentially, sound is a good tool here because it's in a space that's controlled, tight, and you can control. Sound is dangerous on a rooftop in the previous question because that's a high exposure space.
Surf says, good shit, Captain. Thank you.
Rooftops offer no cover. You can't see what's in surrounding buildings or below you, and a thrown
I am leading this ship, so
creates echoes, which could
I gotta
travel
keep my
downward.
cult alive until, that blessed day when we all, get in the pile.
And it can trigger zombies or other people on the street or in nearby buildings. Option A, fighting...
Why do you have to relate everything to Jews? Toss pennies. Zombies are like Jews. If you throw pennies, they have to count them all. That's vampires. And that's salt. And yeah, if you threw pennies, they might... you're going to attract a bunch of Jews.
The zombie is not the right answer because
Jews. You hear that?
this is so too risky. You don't know if there are other zombies nearby or what's behind the zombie. And weapon or not, confrontation when you don't need to.
Servant says she ran all the questions through Grok first, so she seems smart. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're probably right.
Is high failure rate unless you're cornered. Option B, going to the side door and hiding, is a valid survival option, but you're now stuck in a closed building with its own unknowns inside. There's also no guarantee that the zombie will ever move on. So this option isn't wrong, but it's also not the best option. And option D, sprinting past, is also risky, because one wrong move and you could get grabbed.
You can trip or something like that, yeah.
You turn a corner and you see another survivor. They're alone and they're sitting...
Not for long, and I pull out my gun and I shoot him. I didn't know.
...on a curb. From your first glance, they don't look injured. What do you do? Option A, approach slowly and ask if they're headed towards the stadium. Option B, cross to the other side and keep walking without making eye contact. Option C, turn back and take a longer route. Or option D, make brief eye contact and nod.
Okay, so they're alone sitting on a curb eating something. They don't look injured. Eating something, okay. Okay, approach slowly and ask if they're heading to the stadium. No. No, I wouldn't want to make any sort of contact. You don't know if they're, like, scared or whatever. They could lash out. They could be zombie. You don't know. Cross to the other side and keep walking without making eye contact. That's not the worst idea, but if they don't think you saw them, they might take an opportunity to attack you, right? Turn back and take a longer route, make brief eye contact, and nod, then keep moving. I would do D. Turn back and take a longer route might be a good idea, but like, you don't know how much time that's going to take. And you don't know that longer route might be more dangerous. This seems less dangerous. You're armed. I think just acknowledging somebody and moving on is probably the best idea. Asked if they want to join my human centipede. They pull my pants down and be like, come on. Come on. Wag it a little bit. I don't think they're going to be into that. Surfing says C, turn back and take a longer route. That's possible. Might be a trap. You're right. It could be a trap. I don't think it would be a trap. But it could be a trap. The best traps don't look like traps. Knobs dog, shut the fuck up.
And then keep moving. So the correct answer here is option D, brief eye contact and keep moving. So the reason this is the right answer is because you need to acknowledge this person without becoming a variable. Making eye contact shows your confidence, and the nod signals peace. Option B or C, ignoring or avoiding them entirely, could be read as weakness, and option A of approaching them is risky.
It's like, okay, yeah, I just want... Look, I would walk by them, but I would make eye contact just so they know I know about them. Right? If I just looked forward and walked by, they might be like, that guy didn't see me and he looks like he's got supplies. I'm going to try to sneak up on him. But no, I walk by, I look at him, he looks at me. I'll be like, you come over here, I'm going to fuck your shit up. I'm going to fuck your shit up. And then I keep walking. I don't care if they look weak or, malnourished or if they're like, hey, help. I'd be like, go fuck yourself. Fuck you. I'd probably say that. Or carry a sign. It says, fuck you. It's backwards. I wrote it in the mirror.
You don't know their intentions or what they've lost. While climbing a fence, you slice your palm open on...
Shoot in the face, steal sandwich. It's not sandwich. He might be eating a rat. You don't know.
...exposed metal. It's not deep, but it's bleeding.
Surfing says, jerk it on their backs. He just says, ha 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 ha. It's like, are you Professor Moriarty? Like your master plan has come together by shooting ropes on their back? Like, how do they even get in that situation? You got to be in control of the situation to be doing that. First of all, they're in that presentation position. And then they're giving you time to, like, completion and shit. I mean, if you can pull it off, I mean, bravo, right? I'm not going to sit around and watch and be like, watch this. This guy's going to pull this off. And I just sit there and watch him shoot ropes on this person's back. I don't even know if it's a chick.
What do you do? Option A, cover it quickly with whatever cloth you have. Option B, wash and disinfect it before sealing.
Climbing a fence, you slice your palm open and expose metal. It's not deep, but it's bleeding. Cover it quickly with whatever cloth you have. Wash and disinfect it before sealing it up.
Option C, ignore it because it's too small to matter.
Ignore it.
Or option D, wrap it in plastic to keep the blood from dripping.
That's a bad idea. Wash and disinfect it before sealing it up. Cover it quickly with whatever. Yeah, wash and disinfect would probably be the best idea. Any medical people here? Medical people? B.
So the correct answer here is option B, clean and disinfect it. So the reason that this is the right answer is because any open wound is potentially an infection point, especially if you're touching surfaces or dead bodies. Every small cut matters in an unsanitary environment, and here you're protecting yourself from both regular and zombie-related infections. You find
I've got the infection, guys. I've got the infection. It was a screwdriver. It scratched me.
gasoline and a lighter in an abandoned garage.
Where is Doc? Where's Doc?
Do you rig a Molotov cocktail for zombie defense?
Yes!
Option A, yes, because it's an explosive distraction and it destroys the zombie on contact. Option B, yes, but only as a last resort. Option C, no, because fire spreads unpredictably and it draws attention. Or option D, no, it's better saved for sterilizing tools.
Okay. If I'm going to be like real, I'm not going to be like, okay, I'm going to go burn some zombies. I'm being real here. Fire is it will attract everything, right? Also, it doesn't kill on contact. Also, you might set yourself on fire. Also, you might set a building on fire or something like that. Something may explode. It's just, Molotov cocktails are fun, but they're not exactly all that effective, especially against creatures that don't feel pain. So I'm going to say it's good for sterilizing tools, I suppose, but I'm going to say C. No, as fire spreads unpredictably and draws attention. That's would be my guess. C. C. Yep. Oh, lost audio footage. The correct answer is C. No, as fire spreads unpredictably and draws attention. Fire rarely instantly kills zombies as they don't feel pain or stop moving. Flames spread rapidly in tight urban spaces, creating uncontrollable hazards. Fire draws other zombies due to the light and noise, and the gas is far more useful for vehicle escape or true sterilization in combat. Option D, that the gas is better saved for sterilizing tools, is true, but not the best answer in this scenario. Option C directly answers the implicit question here, which is whether fire / an explosion is good for a weapon against zombies. Big B says huff it. Yeah, you don't want to show up so sober, you know. Huff it first, yeah. You gotta huff it. I mean, like you're huffing a little bit, right? You're not going like bonkers and shit, but you gotta huff a little bit. Just quick, yeah. Oh.
You're taking shelter in the back room of a corner shop when your route was blocked. It's a small space with one door, no windows, and a zombie has just stumbled in from the front. Inside this room with you are a metal drawer, a kitchen knife, duct tape, and a narrow closet with slatted wooden doors. You have seconds to react. What do? Option A, tape the knife to a broken broom handle and prepare to fight. Option B, hide silently in the closet and hope it passes. Option
Knobs, are you hiding silently in the closet?
C, climb onto the metal drawer and prepare to strike from above. Or option D, make noise to lure the zombie fully in and then try and slip behind it and escape.
I'm doing strike from above. C. Strike from above. There's a lot left, and we've been dicking around too much.
So the correct answer here is option C, use elevation and timing.
Yeah.
So the reason this is the right answer is because standing on the drawer gives you both height, force, and also angle to strike the zombie. As established
She knows about math. I trust her with math.
before, these zombies are slow moving.
Height, force, and angle, yeah.
So if you wait for it to enter and then drive a downward strike where it counts, this is probably your best bet. Option A, making the DIY spear, is not a good idea because makeshift spears often are not going to hold up in real pressure. A taped knife is unstable, and if you have one shot to pierce its skull, it's
Everyone's still back there getting high off of gasoline. You guys aren't even like, you're not even considering the new one. Everyone just wants to get high off the fucking gasoline. You guys are going to be impossible to deal with. Like, how am I supposed to lead you through the zombie apocalypse? Is that if everyone's just getting fucking, like, huffing off of a gas tank, dude? Like, work with what you got, I suppose.
most likely not going to come
Work with
from
what
a
you
very
got.
panicked jab. Option B, hiding in the closet, is normally a good idea, but again, this closet has slatted doors and the room is too small.
Just
If the
huffing
zombie
gasoline.
even hears a
I'm like, you guys! You guys! You have gasoline all over your faces.
breath or brushes against the door, you're trapped inside with no escape. And option D, luring the zombie in and slipping past, could work in a bigger
Yeah, just
space.
huffing and jerking, right? You're jerking each other off while huffing gasoline. I'm like, wow, we are fucking doomed. We are doomed. You guys are jerking each other off and huffing gasoline. And fucking, one of you is giving a rusty trombone to the zombie over there. He's not even asking for it, but he's not like fighting back. So I'm like, whatever. You want some gasoline, zombie? Might as well make peace.
Space, but not here. As mentioned,
Might
it's
as
a
well
small
make
room, and you
peace.
can't circle one in a small room, and you have no idea what's waiting outside. So you've just successfully fought the zombie off at close range. You're unbeaten.
James says your style of leadership is more annoying suggestion, John. let's be real, bro. Annoying suggestion? I'm sorry. Not giving the zombie a rusty trombone is not a suggestion. I mean, I'm not going to force you to stop. So I guess it's a suggestion. But no, you have to stop huffing gasoline. All right? Like, we need our heads in the game. I'm sorry. I'm the only one that's going to survive this. And, like, Knob's dog has busted, like, 6 nuts since we left the apartment. We're not getting anywhere. It's 6 miles away. We have been at this for hours. Hours. Dude, like, we are not making good time.
But it's blood splatter in your mouth and your hands. What do you do first?
We're not
Option
making
A,
good
wipe
time.
yourself down with a towel or cloth.
You fought off a zombie at close range. You're unbitten, but it's blood splattered. Your mouth and hands, what do you do first? I don't know. Shoot Knobs, dog. I'd
Option
shoot
B,
him.
rinse with soap and water immediately. Option C, disinfect
John giving brave heat speeches, riding circles on his e-bike. Shut the fuck up. That's super funny. I'm just right. We will not surrender. Back and forth. So gay, dude.
your skin with hand sanitizer. Or option D, wait and see if symptoms appear.
Braveheart. Yeah, I got it.
So the correct answer here is option B, rinse with soap and water. The reason this is the right answer is because
Soap and water. Okay, I could have told you that. I was just distracted by the visual in my head.
if the virus spreads through blood, then you have to treat it like a biohazard. Soap and
Wait, we were just talking about huffing. Where did the rusty trombone come from? Farrell, stop huffing gas. All right, keep up. You got to keep up. All right, you got to stop huffing gas and you got to keep up.
water removes infectious material better than alcohol. And sanitizer can't neutralize any contamination in the eyes or the mouth. Speed matters here, so waiting to see if symptoms appear is also a terrible idea. So by this point, all of your clean water is gone.
Okay.
You find a puddle of murky water next to a corpse that's clearly been mauled by zombies. What do you do?
All your clean water is gone. You find a puddle of murky water next to a corpse, clearly been mauled by zombies.
Option A, boil the water because heat kills everything. Option
I would not touch it.
B, filter the water with cloth and then boil it. Option C, avoid it unless you have proper filtration. Or option D, dilute it with cleaner water and hope it's safe.
No, I'm just not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it at all. I'm not touching that shit. I'm not touching it. C, not touching it.
So the correct answer...
Fucking Knob's probably going to jerk off in it anyway.
Here
Maybe he has already. Maybe he has. I don't know.
Option C, avoid it without proper filtration. So the reason this is the right answer is because while boiling is effective against bacteria, it's not effective against all viral agents or chemical contaminants. And you don't know enough about zombies.
Farrell says, I don't have to listen to you. You're not my real dad. I know, but I'm your cult leader, right? So I'm better than your real dad. I actually care about you.
Blood to know if it contains persistent infection particles. Option B, filtering with the cloth and then boiling is
Oof.
also a bad idea because filtering only removes debris but not pathogens. You're inside a store with broken glass on the floor. A group of 4 zombies wanders in from a side entrance.
Broken glass, 4 zombies wanders in, and they haven't noticed you yet. You're crouched behind the checkout counter.
They haven't noticed you yet, and you're crouched behind the checkout counter. What do? Option A.
What are you doing? Are you stealing pennies?
Crawl quietly against the back wall to the emergency exit. Option B. Stay completely still until...
Don't use a life straw. A life straw is not going to do that. Don't touch it. If there's a zombie bleeding into the puddle, stay away from the puddle. That seems like a pretty obvious course of action. And like, it's ridiculous that I have to reiterate this to a bunch of gas-huffing monkeys. You guys, come on. Come on. Why don't you just poop on their mouth? Poop. The rest of you have gasoline. But what has poop? It's because he's giving the rusty trombones.
Till they pass, even if it takes hours. Option C, throw a metal object to the far corner and sneak out the front. Or option D, try and separate...
Farrell says, my dad is dead, John. Not cool. Undead. Zombie apocalypse. You might see him again.
...one from the group and take it down.
Was that... How'd you like that? How'd you like that?
So the correct answer here is option C, use noise tactically.
Okay, use noise tactically, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm busy trying to fucking herd cats over here. You guys are really difficult because, like, you guys are all spun out and, like, giving sexual favors to zombies. And some of you would be fighting. Legit, just straight up fighting.
Answer is because zombies react to sound, and you don't want them investigating...
Surfing's jerking off in the puddle. A puddle's way back there, dude. You need to catch up.
...of the store. Throwing an object quietly obviously creates false noise distraction, and it also gives you a chance to exit. Option B, waiting, was a valid answer, but it's a gamble on your time. And option A is a bad idea because if you can remember from the scenario, there's glass on the floor, and crawling on glass is just risk. Option D, engaging one, is dumb. You should probably know that by now. You should always avoid
it's always a bad idea
if possible, and remember there's a group of zombies. Other ones will hear. So you can...
No one give a BJs or trombones or Cleveland steamers or any sort of like baked Alaskas or anything like that.
Continue making your way to the stadium. You're almost there. When you're 2 blocks away...
Spunk Puddle is a good band name. I'm not going to lie. That's a good band name.
You realize that someone is quietly following you at a distance. They haven't called out yet. What do?
Wasn't there one band name that was called like 30 milliliters or something like that, which was the average amount of semen a man would ejaculate?
Option A, call them out and ask them to identify themselves. Option B, pick
2 blocks from your destination, you realize someone's quietly following you at a distance. They haven't called out to you. What do? Call out and ask to identify themselves.
Pick up your pace, make several turns to test if they're tracking you. Option C, stop abruptly and wait for them to catch up so you can confront them. Or option D, turn around and start walking towards them to intimidate them.
I don't know. See, I'm not a fucking girl, so I don't assume people are following me. You know? This is a chick question. Like, okay, Farrell, have you ever been walking, like, in a subway and you're alone and then somebody's walking, like, I don't know, 30, 40 feet behind you and then you get really scared? Yeah, that doesn't happen to me. There's people behind me, but I'm not afraid of them. What are they going to do? I'll beat their ass. But since she's a chick, I'm going to go ahead and say option B, pick up your pace and, like, try to lose them because she's a chick and... Also, you want to avoid confrontation at all costs. You know, you don't know. Blah, 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 blah. I just take that pipe and I bash him on the head, right? Or my crowbar. I don't think he'd be following. No, man. Especially if there's like, what, there's 52 people in the Rumble chat. There's 81 in total. You're gonna take there's 82 of us here. You're gonna take us all on? You're gonna follow all of us? You know how much gasoline we've been huffing? Like a lot. Like a lot.
So the correct
We don't even have any for like the car that we're gonna use.
answer is option B, change your pace and test if they're following you.
Yeah, you're a girl.
The reason this is the right answer is because if someone's following you silently, you should
you're
never
a
confront
girl.
them directly. Change your pace and take sharp turns, and if they match you, it's deliberate. Once you've established they are in fact following you, then you can break the line of sight and change direction. Talking to them or walking towards them gives them control, and you need options here that minimize risk. So you've just changed pace and you've made several sharp turns, and they match every move. So now you know they're deliberately following you. You're still 2 blocks away from your destination. What do? Option A, duck
I walk 2 blocks. That's what I do. I walk 2
into
blocks.
a building, break the line of sight, and then exit via a back route.
Yes, but I would not do this, but I know, yes.
Option B, run the final 2 blocks to lose them.
Freeside says, I've never thought someone was following me in my life. Exactly. I've never been like, someone following me? Oh no. Oh no. What are they going to do? What are they going to pick my pocket like a gypsy? No, I'm too fast for them. Are they going to attack me? I'll beat some ass. I will beat some ass.
Them and reach the evacuation point as fast as you can. Option C,
I mean, if there's like 10 of them, that's why I have a gun.
hide in a shadowed spot and ambush them when they pass. Or option D, shout at
I think that in this situation, I think anyone would have the same paranoia. No, you're a girl.
them that you know they're following.
You have no idea. You just look. My wife is constantly afraid that somebody's like watching her, or like following her in a car, or like who's that guy at the park with no kids and stuff. Like they're just women are constantly afraid of everything, always, and it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Like she'll think about things I did not think about.
following and threaten them to back off.
Yeah, Knob says John beats guys' asses with his mouth. Thanks for adding. Thank you for adding. So that's such good information, dude. That's such good information.
So the right answer is option A, break the line of sight and exit from another route.
Yeah, girl.
So the reason this is the right answer is because breaking the line of sight is power here. Once this person can't see you, you regain tactical control of the situation. Entering a building also gives you many alternate exits, angles, and barriers. And most people that are following you don't expect sudden lateral movement. Most likely, they're watching you for forward momentum. And if you break the line of sight, you now have options to either double back, wait it out, or have a more controlled confrontation on your own terms. Option B, running to the evacuation point, is a bad idea because it shows desperation. And more importantly, you're going to lead them to your only safe haven and potentially compromise it. Option C, ambushing them, is also a bad idea because
Tweety says
even if you
control is
win,
an illusion.
You risk injury or noise.
I mean, being a magician in a zombie apocalypse would be like legit, right? Because you'd be confusing people, like producing doves and stuff. You might have eaten the doves by then. So you're just producing like half-eaten doves and like, ha-ha! And it just falls on the ground. Ha-ha! Yeah.
And you don't know anything about this person, so it's very unlikely that you're going to control the fight.
This chick's face looks like a pear. Can we stop by the weed shop and stock up? God, dude, you guys are just drug addicts. I am the leader of a cult of drug addicts, dude. Gay ones, too. Gay ones. Who just, like, jizzing in puddles. Coming in puddles. Ugh.
Option D, threatening them out loud, is also a
It's an apocalypse. Apocalypse. Shut up.
bad idea because aggressive posturing only works if
Did you hit your head when you crashed on your e-bike? No, I wear a helmet.
you have leverage in the situation. Otherwise, you're escalating a situation where
Shut up, you guys.
that person might feel cornered or it provokes violence.
This is what I would be saying if I was like leading you guys to safety and we had to be sneaky. I would, shut up. Shut up. Knobs dog, quit it. Fucking, it wouldn't just be Knobs dog. It'd be like half of you.
Violence. So you've successfully evaded this person and you're now 1 block away from the evacuation zone. A lone zombie is blocking the gate entrance. It's slow, but it's fully alert and squarely in your path. You have a crowbar, a flashlight, a water bottle, and a cracked riot shield that you found earlier. What do? Option A, use the riot shield to push it aside and run past. Option B, blind the zombie with a flashlight and strike it over the head with a crowbar. Option C, wait for another person to draw its attention and then move. Or option D, throw your water bottle to the far side of the street and then rush through.
Riot shield. Riot shield, if it's close quarters, a riot shield.
Option A, push through with the shield.
Riot shield.
So the reason this is the right answer is because bypassing is always
No, I
smarter
didn't eat
if
shit
you
on my
have the
bike.
option.
Dude,
and
shut
here,
up.
disabling the zombie is not necessary. A riot shield gives you both force and direction. Option B, fighting the zombie, again, risks too much noise and injury, and you're this close to the destination.
This close.
Combat is unnecessary.
I swear I will turn this party around, all right? And we'll go back through the things with the dead zombies and...
If you have the option to redirect and move on. For your best chance of survival, you should always avoid fights unless they're absolutely required. Option C, waiting it out, and option D, throwing the bottle are not good because
F, jerk it, throw your puddle of spunk in its eyes, yeah?
the zombie's already seen you, so it's unlikely that
I'm not
waiting it
MacGyver,
out or
lady.
distracting it will be very effective.
You don't even have spunk. Farrell, how would you can't even spunk on things. How are you going to make it? Right? Not like half of the solutions involve human semen that's coming out of this chat. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
So you
Are
successfully
you going to slime a zombie? Is he gonna
bypass the
slime a
zombie and you finally arrive at the evacuation site. It's surrounded by high fencing, guards, and you can see a panicked looking crowd nearby. You accidentally dropped your crowbar during the encounter
David.
earlier, and so now you're unarmed. What's the most strategic way to approach? Option A.
I'm sorry, I can't even. Okay, you near evacuation site is surrounded by high fencing with guards, fatigues, panic look, crowd, you're unarmed. What's the most strategic approach?
Push through the crowd because urgency signals that you need help. Option B, wait nearby and watch how the guards treat incoming people. Option C, call out from a distance and raise your arms. Or option D, walk directly to the guards, show your hands, and stay silent.
Will you listen to a song for me? I don't know, we're kind of like
So
at the end of
here is
it.
option B, observe before approaching. So the reason this is the right answer is because evacuation zones are often unstable.
Kind of at the end of
You
the
don't know if
show.
the guards are armed or overwhelmed. Option A, pushing in, could get you mistaken for a threat. And option C draws attention to you, again, without you
Well,
having-
that's nice. Knob says, John, your show is so funny. If I did actually donate, I would definitely donate to this show. I appreciate that at least.
Option
You know,
D, walking up silently.
still
can
not
also be
doing
seen as
it.
Evasive or again potentially.
Still not doing
The
it.
safest thing to do is still to watch protocol and then mimic it calmly. So
I know
that-
I'm helpless. That's why I'm depending on hiding in this spunky cult. I mean, the Spunky Boys.
That wraps up the last of the questions, and hopefully you made it.
We're the Spunky
so count out how
Boys.
many of the answers you got correct. You should now have a score out of 28. So now I'll tell you what your score means and whether
Okay,
or not
what'd you
would
get?
have survived the
What'd you
zombie
guys get?
apocalypse. So if you scored between 26 and 28, you would have survived. Your
I think I got up here. I'm pretty sure you're a strategic survivor. Yes, thank you. You're calm under pressure. I know it. Tactically sharp, of course, and adaptable. You'd last months, maybe years, and you're the kind of person other survivors would follow. This is obvious. I've already known this.
calm under pressure, you're tactically sharp,
Mm-hmm.
you're rare, and you're adaptable.
Well, Surfing says jerk off the guards. Yep.
Most likely, you would have lasted months into this
Arden Chair
outbreak,
got
maybe
60 out of
years.
28.
And you're the kind
That's
of
pretty
person
good.
that other survivors want to follow.
I mean, I said be honest, and so I assume that's honest.
If you scored between 22 and 25, then you most likely survived the initial outbreak and you navigated long-term danger pretty well. You made some mistakes here and there, but luckily it was nothing fatal. With a good group, you're likely to survive. If you scored between 17 and 21, you'd likely scrape through the first wave, but stumble very often.
Uh-huh.
You probably wasted unnecessary energy and you took unnecessary shortcuts.
Wasting unnecessary energy, huh? Huh? Everyone jerking off all the time?
Survival for
Each
you is
other, the
possible,
zombies,
but
the
you need
guards.
luck and good alliances. If you score between 12 and 16, your chances are unlikely. You're likely a liability to your group, you burn through supplies, you draw noise, and you probably also injure yourself. Unfortunately for you,
Yeah!
surviving past the first few
Most of you, because you're high on gasoline
is
fumes.
unlikely. And
Most of
finally,
you.
if you got 0 to 11,
Most of
you're
you.
a casualty on day 1.
Feral Pigeon, thank you. $10. Knobs wanted me to give this to you for the lulz. Thank you, Feral Pigeon. At least somebody is not Knobs' dog.
You probably wouldn't.
I can't stand that guy.
Maybe not even the first hour. Most likely, you'll be one of the first bitten and also first remembered in the what not to do in survival briefings. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it.
Okay, all right. I think we did pretty good. But this group is definitely dead. Let's just be real about that. Let's be real and honest. But like, we made it. We made it to the safe point. We're getting evacuated by helicopter. We have a cure. We've done it, boys. It took a lot of jerking off. It took a lot of gasoline fumes, but we actually made it. And like, probably half of us died. At least half of us died. But we're here now, and I, Sulk, your great leader, should be thanked for that. Go ahead. Okay. That's enough. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Good job, everybody. Pat yourselves on the back for making it through the zombie apocalypse. Apopolis? Something. And I hope you guys hit that like button. Please hit the like button. It helps me a lot. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Sulkstream OFF on Twitter. Follow me at Incredibly Sulky on YouTube. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the cult. And thank you for being you. I will be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. to do this all over again. And I hope to see you there. Anyways. Until we die in the next zombie apocalypse, which should be tomorrow, be good to each other. Be awesome. Spread the word of the cult. Drink a lot of water. Get a good night's sleep and take care of yourselves, because I care about you too. I'll see you at the finish line, at the evac zone. Love you. Good night.
I'm an incredible soul, unhinged and enraged like a bulldog's fierce growl. I'm spitting fire, burning through these trees, questioning the world, unraveling conspiracies. Talking about Bigfoot, Black Ness Monster too. Government lies, they're feeding me their goo. I'm diving deep into this rabbit hole, uncovering the truth. To their control. I got small nipples, but my voice is loud, born like thunder in this crazy crowd. They say I'm crazy, but I call it woke, unraveling the madness with every word I spoke.